Denver Nuggets vs Detroit Pistons. Taking the Nuggets to cover their spread in this one for pretty obvious reasons. Denver ranks first in the West, while the Pistons rank dead last in the East. In addition, the Pistons are very banged up, being without too many players to list, most importantly the likes of Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, and Marvin Bagley. Expect the Nuggets to shoot well from the field, with them shooting 50.8% from the field, while the Pistons allow opponents to shoot 49% from the field. Expect players such as Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. to play well in this one, with the Pistons' lack of interior defense and ability to guard the mid-range. The Pistons have failed to cover in their past 5 games against a team with a winning record, and in 4 of their past 5 games playing on a day's rest. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Nuggets to cover their spread in this one. Nuggets minus 12.5 points. Taking the under in this matchup for a couple of reasons. The last time these teams faced off, the game went 9 points under, the total set at 227, only a point and a half lower than our given total. In addition, these teams tend to go under when facing each other, having gone under in 6 of their past 8 meetings in Detroit and under in 11 of their past 17 meetings overall. The Pistons have also gone under in 7 of their past 9 games when their opponent scores 100 or more points in their previous game. Both teams also rank below average in terms of pace, according to dunks and threes, with the Pistons ranking 13th and the Nuggets ranking 18th. The Pistons are also very injured, so we can expect them to struggle to produce the same amount on offense as they typically do. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the under for this matchup. Under 228.5 points. Sacramento Kings vs Brooklyn Nets. The Kings are in the middle of a 4-game road trip after playing at Chicago on Wednesday night. They have been decent on back-to-backs this season, going 6-5, but this will be a tall order with a strong team like the Nets on the back end of the back-to-back. These teams are pretty evenly matched, but you have to give the edge to the home team, as the Kings are on 0 days rest. Plus, the Nets have been great against spread as of late, winning 6 of their last 7. The Kings may be targeting wins later on in the road trip against the Wizards and Jazz. Take the Nets here to cover. Both of these teams have been playing above their season average in terms of possessions per game lately, and the Nets have surpassed their average by a total of 4 possessions. The Kings have played their fastest basketball of the season on the road and sit among the league worst in opponent-made field goals per game. Both offenses take good care of the ball, and we should expect to see several efficient possessions, with both squads sitting top 10 in assist rate. Lastly, when these teams get to the line, they also sit top 10 in charity strike percentage. The Kings are 5-0 to the over on 0 days of rest. The play is the over. Over 237.5 points. Oklahoma City Thunder vs Toronto Raptors. Toronto is finally healthy and really gelling together, which is why I like them to cover the spread against OKC here. Although the Thunder is the best team in the NBA in covering the spread, the Raptors as a home favorite are 16-11 against the spread. Meanwhile, Toronto's defense has been solid as of late, and although they were blown out against OKC in the lone game they played that was on the road, as the Raptors are a much better team at home. Toronto's offense is also starting to find its groove as Trent Jr. off the bench has helped the second unit, while Poeltl has been massive for their success down low. This will be a close game, but at home, give me the Raptors to cover. Take Toronto to cover. Both these teams can score plenty and are prone to get into shootouts, which are why I like the over in this one. The Raptors are 39-30 in hitting the over this season, while the Thunder is 40-29, which is tied for the best in the NBA. As well, OKC is currently playing at a pace of 103.8, which ranks 4th, while their offensive efficiency ranks 12th. Toronto, meanwhile, plays at a pace of 99.8, which ranks 25th, but they do make the most of their possessions, and in the one game these two teams played, the game went for 245 points. Finally, in the Thunder's last 5 games, the games are averaging 224.8 ppg, while the Raptors' last 5 are averaging 226.6 ppg. Take the over 231.5 points. Indiana Pacers vs Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks became the first team to have 50 wins, clinching a playoff berth after they defeated the Phoenix Suns 116-104. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 36 points, while Brook Lopez chipped in with 21. They won without Chris Middleton, but they will need him for the playoffs, and if they can keep stringing off wins with him getting occasional rest, that will serve Milwaukee well. Indiana had an awful game against the Pistons, but their best player is back and they are a different club with Haliburton in the lineup. Indiana has covered the spread in 7 of their last 10 games. I do not expect them to win, but they will cover the spread here with Haliburton going off. Take the Pacers to beat the spread. Indiana is 10th in pace of play entering this Eastern Conference meeting with the Bucks. They have been porous on the defensive side of the ball, coming in ranked 24th in defensive rating. Milwaukee has been one of the best defensive clubs, 3rd in defensive rating. Although there is a large disparity between these two clubs, I expect the Pacers to put together a much better effort, especially after they were thwarted by the worst team in the Eastern Conference 3 days ago. Milwaukee shot 36 free throws last game, and the whistle will not be as friendly this time around. Take the under 234.5 points. Orlando Magic vs Phoenix Suns. The Suns put together a late comeback effort, but ultimately fell short in a 116-104 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. The score was a lot more inflated than the game, as the Bucks shot a slew of free throws down the stretch. Phoenix did not get a friendly whistle in their matchup against Milwaukee, and we all know how the NBA like to overcompensate after a bad showing. They will be whistled handsomely in this game. Expect the Suns to visit the free throw line at least 20 times in this game against Orlando, and although I expect the Magic to play hard, they will ultimately lose to a hungry Phoenix team attempting to get a bad taste out of its mouth. The Suns put together a late comeback effort, but ultimately fell short in a 116-104 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. The score was a lot more inflated than the game, as the Bucks shot a slew of free throws down the stretch. Devin Booker led the Suns with 30 points on 13 of 27 shooting. DeAndre Ayton had 19 points and 8 rebounds, despite playing just 26 minutes because of foul trouble. The Suns trailed by 9 points at halftime, but cut the deficit to 85-84 heading to the fourth. Cam Payne hit back-to-back three-pointers to put the Suns up 90-87, which was their first lead of the second half. Milwaukee hit a three to regain the lead shortly after, and did not relinquish the lead after. The Magic have covered the spread in 5 of 7 against the Suns. Expect Phoenix to win, with the Magic covering the spread. The Suns are 22nd in pace of play entering this interconference meeting with the Magic. The Orlando Magic and their slim postseason hopes took a big hit Tuesday night after they were crushed 132-114 by the San Antonio Spurs. Paolo Banchero had 27 points, but they were outplayed by one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. They served up 132 points, so I would anticipate a much better defensive effort in this game against Phoenix. I expect Phoenix to win, but the Magic will cover the number and play better than they did Tuesday. The total number has gone under in 9 of 12 at the Footprint Center between these two foes. Take the under 228 points.